Ladies and gentlemen, I think China is at a complete loss to what to do as far as the coronavirus is concerned. You have 17,000 medical workers that have been infected with the virus. They have businesses shut down, the schools are shut down. And the last I heard, 760 million people are now under quarantine. That is just outrageous. They literally don't know what to do. And it's becoming more and more obvious as the days roll by. So China is disinfecting and destroying cash to contain the coronavirus. So they are burning the money over in China because, I guess, just like everywhere on the globe, money is constantly exchanging hands. And in order for them to do this, y'all, I really believe that this virus is a lot stronger than what they're saying. And they are a lot worse off than what they're admitting. So this came out February 17th, 2020. So the novel coronavirus outbreak continues to batter China. The country's central bank has implemented a new strategy to contain the virus, deep cleansing and destroying potentially infected money. The new measures announced by the People's Bank of China on Saturday aim to contain the spread of the virus, officially known as COVID 19. There is still a lot unknown about the virus. And how do you treat a virus that you don't know anything about? That makes it even more difficult. And the reason why it's going to continue to spread because they don't know much about this virus. They don't know, which has infected more than 71,000 globally and killed 1,775. And believe me, they're downplaying the numbers because China does exactly what the US does whenever, anything is impacting certain groups of people. They always try to play like it's not as bad as it really is. They play that game too. The majority in China, but it appears to survive for at least several hours on surfaces, according to the World Health Organization. This is why buildings in infected areas are regularly disinfecting elevator buttons, door handles, and other commonly touched surfaces, and why people are worried about cash, which changes hands multiple times a day. Wow. All Chinese banks must now literally launder their cash, disinfecting it with ultraviolet light and high temperatures, then storing it for 7 to 14 days before releasing it to customers. Yeah, but once you release it to customers, can it just get recontaminated again? I mean, does this make sense to anybody? Yeah, okay. So you go through this whole process and release the money back into the same public that's already contaminated. Oh my goodness, this is not a good idea. They would be better off burning it and just printing more money at this point. I'm just saying. Wow. And what if you go through this whole process and the money is not really truly decontaminated? There's always a chance that some of the bills may not. Never mind. I'm overthinking it. Let me just move on. Cash that comes from high risk infection areas like hospitals and wet markets, will be especially treated and sent back to the central bank instead of being recirculated. And the central bank and Gazoo Bank, these high risk banknotes may be destroyed instead of merely disinfected, according to state run tabloid Global Times. So, how much money are you talking about in the country? To make up for the supply, the bank will issue large amounts of new uninfected cash. In January, the banks allocated 4 billion yuan, which is 573.5 million, in new banknotes to Wuhan. Okay, so Wuhan is where they have had the biggest problem in the country. The Chinese city where the outbreak began, said the government press release. Other measures, including suspending physical cash transfers between hard hitting provinces to limit the possibility of virus transmission during the cash transit. So I just don't I just don't see how they're going to contain this thing. So if you're saying you're disinfecting it and you're transferring the cash, I just don't see how this is going to work. If somebody else see that this decontamination of the money is going to work, please put it in the comment section. I'm reading this and I'm telling you, I don't see how this is going to work. Because it's not like you can eyeball everybody and can tell who's has, the coronavirus and who don't. Wow. It's unclear how infected cash in China may actually be. The virus likely dies after a few hours on surfaces, especially if it's been killed with disinfectant. And the most people in urban centers don't use cash anyway. Mobile payment apps are near ubiquitous. Yeah, but people are still using cash. But as the previous studies have found, money can be incredibly dirty. Each dollar passed person to person samples of a bit of the environment it comes from and passes those bits to the next person. The list of things found on US dollars include DNA from our pets, traces of drugs and bacteria and viruses, according to a 2017 study in New York. Well, I can see that happening. People are constantly touching and petting their animals. And then if you touch your animal and then let's say you go out and you spend your money, that DNA that's on your hands are going to transfer to the money. So I can see how that happens. Drugs also, many drugs leave a residue on your hands. So I can see how all of that happens, actually. That doesn't mean cash is actually dangerous for our health. Disease transmission linked to money is rare, and no major disease outbreaks have started from our ATMs. Yeah, but you never had the coronavirus before. You never had that before. And it's not like you can take a dollar and know how long it transferred back to you from another individual. You know how fast money is constantly moving? Just you walking up to a cash register and giving your money and getting change back. A lot of times you're getting that change that's only been in the register for a few minutes. But with new cases being reported every day in China, the country's officials are taking no chances. They got a lot of problems over here, y'all. They got a lot of problems. I looked at several articles yesterday, and they have a shortage of supplies. And you see a lot of their medical staff, they're covered from head to toe, like hazmat suits. And these people are still falling ill of the coronavirus, you know? And now you got this situation with the money, and it's not just with the money, y'all. These people are coming in contact with each other every day. So, that being said, this thing is literally impossible to stop in China. So, even after you disinfect the money and you circulate it back out in the public, won't it get reinfected again? Wow. So, they're saying that they're talking about December, how it spread to 28 countries. Trust me, it's gone up a lot more than that. It really has. Man, I don't know what China's going to do. In fact, I don't know what the rest of the world is going to do with this virus. And I was also reading they are anticipating this virus mutating and becoming even more deadlier in the near future. And you already got people not going to Chinatown across this country. Restaurants are closing, and people going in and out of Chinatown, they're not doing that anymore. People are scared. They are. They're scared. You know, when I lived in the city of Philadelphia, I lived near Chinatown. We weren't that far from Chinatown at all. And I remember, I don't know if some of you remember back in the day when the Chinese slippers were real popular. We went into Chinatown to buy my pair of Chinese slippers. And I remember I had them in different colors too. I had black, I had a brown pair, I had red, I had a navy blue pair. I had them in many different colors. Most people were just wearing the black ones. And I even had a purple pair of Chinese slippers. And that's where we went. We went straight into Chinatown to buy. And I've been to Chinatown a couple of times back in the day when I ate Chinese food. I don't eat Chinese food anymore. But at one time when I used to, whenever I would visit the city of Philadelphia, I would go into Chinatown and eat there, you know? But it's been many years. I think the last time I was in Chinatown, y'all, it was probably early 2000s. And that was the last time when I went over there, I went into Chinatown. And I've stopped eating Chinese food a while ago. I don't even eat that anymore. But y'all, please tell me what you think of this story. I mean, like I said, I don't see this working. I just don't. But please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.